Mm, 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 mm. Okay, I think we're live. I think. I never quite know. I never quite know. Are we live or not? I'm using some different software today, so I thought I would try and work out how to do it to make it interesting. But it's called Streamlabs, and it's kind of cool because you can have the chat on the side. So I'm hoping that that works at some point. It should be over here somewhere. Um, Lots of other bits and bobs you can do on it, but exciting, exciting. Hello, for anyone that's new. Hi, my name is George. I was diagnosed with brain cancer in August 2024, and I am sharing that journey here on YouTube. Just kind of sharing the stuff, giving it a go, trying to show people that it doesn't necessarily have to be the end, doesn't necessarily have to be this bad thing, this bad shit that happens to us, that we actually have a lot of agency, a lot of control over what happens and how we perceive it. But thank you for coming on. Hey Eve, how's it going? This is all kind of scary for me because I'd love to show you. I'd love to show you on the computer what I'm looking at. It's there's lots of craziness going on. Lots of craziness going on. Let me adjust all this. Sorry guys, give me 2 minutes. Bit of a strange setup today. Oh yeah. But I have my tea in hand, ready to rock, and we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna do this thing. Eve, how are you? How's life? We haven't spoken in ages. Ages and ages and ages. Like, when was it? Last time I was back in the UK, hey? Long time ago. Hmm. Hello, people joining in. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. How are we today? Where are you watching from? Do I know you? How is your favorite cousin? I am good. I am good. I must be honest. Today, I am feeling a little bit jaded. Let's go with that term. A little bit tired. I didn't have a good sleep last night. I was awake for most of it. And I can't say I've woken up particularly energized about today, but I've got my tea. I've had some decent breakfast. And so now I'm just chilling out on here. I'll probably only be on for about half an hour, maybe an hour. We'll go with the flow, see how things are going. But if you have any questions, absolutely anything, the darkest to the brightest question, just shout. I am an open book, absolute open book about all this sort of stuff. Um, yeah, life is so bleh, busy. Spoke to you on the phone after graduation. Oh yeah, yeah. So not that long ago. Oh yeah. Oh Eve, thank you for joining in. Appreciate it. So yes, today, unless there's anything specific that you guys are wanting to learn about or to ask questions about, I thought I would go through what happened post surgery. So for those that you don't know, in October just gone, I had brain surgery. Highly recommend. Great fun. Very enjoyable. No, it wasn't actually that bad. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know if you can see, but I've got. Nah, you can't see. I have a nice scar that runs kind of up here, which has only just started to properly settle. It's painful to touch still, which is crazy when you think it was back in October, but it's slowly improving. I had a At the bottom of it, I had a lump for ooh, well, at least 2 months. Just like this lump under the skin, and there was gunk coming out of it. Don't know if that's too much information, but there was gunk coming out of it, and I went to the doctors, and they were like, "Yeah, sometimes that happens. It's just everything settling down, but that has now gone, which is great, which is really great." I was getting a bit worried, but yeah, I thought I would share what it was like just after surgery and then in the last couple of months how things have recovered with a bit of time. So, August 24th. August? No, that was when I was diagnosed. The 24th of October last year, I went in for surgery. And the whole point of it was that they were going to go in and remove as much as they could of the tumour. And then there was also a cystic component within it that was starting to increase in size quite rapidly, which is why they wanted to get in. So the idea was that they go in, cut out as much as they could, and then drain that cyst, get rid of as much of it, remove the pressure from inside the brain cavity. And I was relatively calm going into that. It was quite a surreal experience, a profound experience. So I went in pretty calm, pretty happy, thinking about the positives, thinking about the other side, thinking about coming out and feeling a hell of a lot better, which I do, which is great. And the first thing I remember, so they put me to sleep. First thing I remember is coming to in a lift with a couple of porters. Oh, you can barely hear me. Okay, stand by. I am trying new shit today. So let me just work that one out for you. Let's have a look. Properties, device. I am gonna say that one. Is that any clearer for you guys? I can barely hear you. Should be coming through this microphone here. So I don't know if that's clearer. If you can let me know. Let me have another look at the settings on here. And welcome back, Enjo. Man, you've been here, what, every single one? Hey, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if that's coming through clearer for you guys. It should be. Otherwise, there is something drastically... Oh, much better. Awesome. Good stuff. Fix that problem. Yeah, I'm trying to use this different software and it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. But I can do this kind of cool thing where, let's say somebody subscribes. You get like this little thing come up. I'm assuming you can see that. I hope you can see that. Oh man, it's interesting. I'm looking forward to learning how to use it. So, if anyone's new, hi, I'm George. I was diagnosed with brain cancer. I am sharing the journey here on YouTube and ultimately trying to adjust general perspective on how people approach these sort of diagnoses. So rather than it being the end of the world, it's in a way a gift for a lot of people. And I've been working a hell of a lot on the psychology behind this sort of thing and how to create a mental resilience, mental agility, fitness, so that rather than cowering away into the corner and crying and assuming that this is the end, is to turn that on its head and to see it as a benefit, as an opportunity, as a positive in our lives. And then in doing so, we can make it what we want, right? We don't have to live in that stress. We don't have to hold that weight on our back the entire journey. And that alone, the reduction in cortisol, is huge when you start looking into the research behind it in terms of trying to heal. So if you are new here, hi, welcome. If you have absolutely any questions whatsoever, however dark they are, just shout, put them in the chat. I would love to answer absolutely anything you have. So yes, went in for surgery. Oh, hello, Windy City, from a very cold UK. You don't have snow, I assume. I haven't heard any friends having snow, but I hope there is. I like snow days. So surgery, yeah, pop out the other side. First thing I remember is coming to terms with being in an elevator, and we had a couple of guys in there with me. And doors opened. We were up on the neurology ward. Doors opened. And Annalise, my partner, was there with a really good friend, Shane. And they were like, oh, here he is. And Annalise, bless her, was videoing. Because I asked her, I was like, okay, I've got this channel. I'd really like to share the whole journey. So there will be a video coming out soon, like, with all of the nitty gritty of what it was like post-op. It was crazy. Hello, Noah. How you doing? Welcome. No snow, but cold. I don't mind the cold. I quite like the cold. I don't know. Pretty chilled. But that's such a dad joke. Yeah, so we end up getting rolled into the ward and are starting to come a little bit more aware of what was going on. and I had Shane, Annalise, a couple of nurses, and getting all plugged into all of the various things that you need to get plugged into. And it was a very blurred event. The main thing I remember is I was worried going into the op that because of the location of the tumour, it's on the basal ganglia, so really deep on your motor skills, there was a chance that I would have impaired motor skills post-op because they'd go in and potentially cut or damage that area of the brain. So for me, the main risk was that I would lose my left-hand side or some of my left-hand side. So the first thing cognitively I remember doing is like actively wiggling my fingers and toes and just confirming that I could move them. And I was like, oh my God, thank God, because I was really worried. I had that anxiety on if I lost that, what would life be like? It's a big change. I'm an active person. I like getting out and about. I like making things. So to lose that would be a massive challenge, but something I'd certainly overcome and work with. Here in the US, we are getting very cold temperatures. I saw something on the news. What was it? A couple of weeks back, you guys got hammered with snow, or a certain part of the US got hammered. I don't know if it's like that anymore. So yeah, first thing, I'm like moving around going, fuck yes, I haven't lost it. And the next thing I remember is Annalise, my partner, coming up with a camera on a phone to send a message to my family who were waiting back in the UK to find out how I was doing. And I'm there, I've got this on video, I'll share it at some point. I'm there and I'm like, I'm doing well, I'm okay, I'm quite muffled in my brain, but I can move. And obviously I'm absolutely high on all sorts of drugs that they've been pumping me full of, mostly morphine, which has a real knock-on effect with toilet time, but maybe I'll talk about that another day. If you do have any questions in terms of what happened to me or ideas for the channel, just please put them in. I'm all about trying to communicate and work with the community. So jump on in, shout whatever you want to shout. 22 people were killed, Noah. My God, what, in by the cold, or is that in accidents, or in what capacity? That's awful. Poor people. Amazing, isn't it, how Mother Nature, despite how much we think we can control it and that we're top dog on the planet, Mother Nature every year comes around in some form or another and gives us a good slap of reality and saying, nah, you're not the big dog. We actually had, and this is very sad, just up the road from where I live in New Zealand, in Rotorua, in a place called Tauranga, we had a storm come through with some crazy rain. We didn't have anything really hit in Rotorua, we're more inland, but the coastal areas got hammered hard. There was quite a large landslide in Tauranga onto a campsite with people, and last I heard, that landslide killed 7 people, which is really sad, especially you're on a camping trip. Rough, really, really rough. But I haven't heard any of the recent news about that. Have I had any more mini seizures since the last stream? Wendy said yes. I am getting on average 2 a day at the minute, sometimes 3, sometimes 1, sometimes like yesterday I didn't get as severe mini seizures, so it's like I get a feeling that I'm going to have one, and then a very short period of okay, is this one? But then it just levels out, which is really good news. The seizures themselves seem to be, touch wood, I don't have any here, touch wood, are actually kind of leveling out a bit. They're not progressing to become worse, so it's really nice for me just on a day-to-day basis, but also it's hopefully good news for where things are at. I am due to have a scan at some point in the next 2 weeks, so that will be my first scan since operation, which, yeah, I mean, there's the whole thing of scanxiety. which is a real phenomenon, psychological. It's where you've got something coming up, you don't know what the answer is going to be, you're going to have this scan, you have to wait post-scan for them to analyze the results and work out what's going on. And so you sort of sit there with this, there's a test done, I don't know what the answers for that are going to be, and I just have to live with it. But for me, I recognize that right here, right now, where are my feet? It's a huge thing, is becoming as present as possible, because the future side of things, as everyone knows, we cannot dictate that. We have no idea what that is going to be. Like, I could get taken out by a bus. It doesn't really matter. This whole cancer thing doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So you get this scanxiety side of things, which I don't think I really get. I haven't as of yet, but I know people who have. I've been working with a family member who has had a number of scans so far, and they worry, which is fair enough. Like, it's understandable, but it's about trying to swap it around of, okay, I'll get more information post-scan. I get to experience having MRIs, and having that information is probably the most powerful thing, because then we can make action in our life to try and change whatever that is. Otherwise, we're just working blind, right? We don't have that agency because we don't have the answers. The weather doesn't feel... Man, thank you for the comments, guys. Wenjo, this weather really didn't feel like Mother Nature to most of us. What do you mean? Mother Nature. Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. Not like looking after. I see what you mean. I love how you're such a positive person. Oh, no. Thank you. I mean, we have an ultimate choice for that, don't we? It's one of the things I was thinking about yesterday is, when something or someone does something that maybe makes you get your hackles up, you get a bit pissed off. Like, let's say you get somebody speed by you in traffic and they cut in and they're all like rushing and taking things a little bit too close for comfort. Now, we could sit there and say, man, what an asshole, like, what an idiot, whatever it is, right? We can spend that energy, we can look at it with that mindset, or we can look at it and maybe flip it and say, well, maybe he's rushing to try and get to the hospital because the loved one's not in a good state, or his wife's giving birth. That's the old sort of movie example. And it uses the same amount of energy, emotional energy, to assume the positive as opposed to the negative. And I do wonder whether the world would be a brighter, safer, more comfortable and positive place to live if, rather than assuming negative intent, we assume a positive intent, and that there's some higher reason why they might be doing that. And I mean, some people are just generally knobs in and of itself, but it's not necessarily how they are, it's how do we respond to them. We have a choice on how we respond to those situations. So yeah, for me, it's okay, somebody's done something that might be seen as not a good thing to be done, and that's all perspective, but we have a choice on how we respond to that. So many comments, hey, and loads of viewers, 10 viewers, hello there, hi. If you're new, you don't know who I am George. I was diagnosed with brain cancer in August 2024, started a little YouTube channel to share the journey and ultimately try and flip the paradigm, the mindset that cancer is the end for people and that it can't be a positive. So it's about trying to turn it into a gift. Like, how does it serve me as opposed to destroy me? But if you have absolutely any questions, shout away in the comments. More than happy to answer anything. Can you possibly let us know what day your scan is so we can be praying? Oh, yes, I will. I can put a post out on YouTube. That's generally my chosen platform at this point in time. I have been calling the MRI department to try and get a date, but because of a backlog, they're not entirely sure, and because it's routine, like there's nothing crazy going on, so they have a lot more, I suppose, serious scans that need to be done more rapidly. So I will keep you up to date. The day that I know, I will post something about this. Keep your eyes open. If I only had an ounce of positivity. Windy, this is the crazy thing. So there is a dichotomy in life, right? White, black, left, right, good, bad, up, down. happiness, sadness, emotionally. There's always a balance. Yeah, we have to have that. We can't live fully one-sided, because if we live one-sided, it tips the seesaw, and suddenly that is the only place that we sit in. Right? The more depressive thoughts, for example, that we have, the more that we give those thoughts space in our life, the heavier they get, the more the seesaw tips to that side. So for you to, or for people to be seeing themselves as, in this case, for example, not positive or lacking in positivity, what you're doing is putting the weight onto the other side. So if you make a conscious decision and create a thought structure and pattern, like you actually think about your thoughts, you step third party and you make the decision to recognize them, but then decide the opposite, that gradually moves the weight to balance that seesaw. And when you find that balance, that's where you find peace in life. That's where you find general content for life as it is. You know, you're always going to have shit land on your lap. Always. Something at some point will come and land on your lap, whether you like it or not. That is the tragedy of life. But equally, you will always have the opposite come, and there will be great things that bring you happiness, joy, this sense of love for the world. So the main thing, what I'm trying to say, is ultimately to try and find that balance. And the more that you think in a certain way, that, for example, to think, hey, I am a positive person. I will be positive. Even in the darkest times, I will look for the light. To gradually use the reps of mental fitness, to literally like going to the gym, like you're doing the reps of actively making that decision for positivity. You start to change that seesaw, and you put a different set of glasses on to start to see in default the more positive ways of engaging with the world. I hope that makes sense. Bit of a rabbit hole to go down there, but who knows, it might be of value. Hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well from Sydney. Oh, you're just across the pond. Hello there. And it's early for you. Is it not like 5 a.m. or something? If it is, wow, hello, welcome. That's crazy. Petro, hello. In these cases, I generally just tolerate. I always avoid trying to be negative. Good, nice. Even if the person is negative with me, I always try to be understanding, because the person can be having a bad day. Exactly. Like, we never know what other people are going through. We can look at it as a third party, as it is, and have the intent of seeing it as a bad, or like you're saying, we can choose to look at it as a positive, and that is so powerful. It's like a superpower in life. You're not being governed by your emotions. You are ultimately having choice over those emotions, and that is it removes so much stress from life. It's like you're just taking off this backpack of rocks that you've been carrying, and seeing life as it is, accepting it for what it is. You know, there is nothing in any of our lives that is missing, broken, needs fixing. Absolutely nothing. Like, it is just what it is. And to have that deep acceptance removes all of those rocks. It's a really beautiful experience. 8:20 a.m. Okay, that's still pretty early. I'm not gonna lie. With the diagnosis, I'm trying to sleep as much as I can, so my sleep hygiene is pretty good. Last night was an odd one. I did eat some things going to bed or just before bed that I wouldn't normally eat. It gave me a bit of stomach, like, uneasy indigestion. And I think that was probably it, but I was awake a lot last night. In general, though, I am in bed somewhere between 9:30 and 10ish. Normally I sleep by 10:30, and then I try and sleep pretty much all the way through till about 8. Just get as much as I can for the healing process to kick in. So even with a lot of research, it's still hard, because we still haven't figured out how to make our immune system perfectly identify cells. Yep, exactly. Since they're genetically similar to normal cells, unlike viral diseases. Exactly. So So I find this fascinating. They're almost like, so cancer cells are almost like spies, right? So they set out signals, certain pathways that ultimately make them somewhat invisible to our immune system. So our immune system normally can see that the cell, like a damaged cell, for example, isn't healthy. Like it has certain signals that come out and it says, hey, we're not all that happy. And the immune system goes, cool, okay, you aren't meant to be here. We're going to get rid of you. So that's what it does, right? It takes it apart. It destroys it. The problem with the cancer cell is that, and this is why it ultimately takes over, is that it says, we're just a normal healthy cell, like you say. And then that is what then allows it to replicate, to to go into mitosis, to start splitting, dividing, and then it starts getting that ball rolling. So a big part of things like immunotherapies is trying to find a way to either make your immune system hypersensitive to seeing those cells, trying to find those cells, or adjust the cancer cell to change how it shows itself to the body, and in doing so allow your immune system to kick in to find it. And that's where things like fasting comes in, intermittent fasting. So reducing your food or completely reducing your food for an extended period puts your body into autophagy, which is where it basically starts becoming very sensitive to damaged cells, so that it will find them, destroy them, and then recycle its parts, its components, its matter to help healthy cells somewhere else around the body. So that is a tool to use for cancer. The research is really interesting if that's your thing and you want to go diving. Absolutely fascinating in how it can be used as a like an adjunctive therapy to do. Like, it's something that we can do that shows that it benefits. So it's a large part with intermittent fasting is taking ownership of your health and deciding that's what I'm doing because I know it's going to benefit me. I'm not going to rely on the doctors. Something to think about. Oh man, Eve, my phone is about to die. Talk soon. I want to stay up to date with you, so we'll try and make more of an effort. Bless you. We're all thinking back here and being your cheerleaders. I want to see pom-poms. Eve, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll chat soon. We'll for sure chat soon. So yeah, that's where I am at the minute. Go back to story time. So post-surgery plan, come out of the elevator or out of the lift into the ward, start trying to move my hands and fingers, and that first few hours is a real blur. I don't really remember very much of it. There are certain points of people coming to see me, like a really good friend Reese came to see me post surgery, and I think the main things that stick with me is that evening. So yeah, that evening, that night, Annalise and my friend were told, hey, you don't need to be here, we've got him, go and get some rest. So Annalise and Shane disappeared, and I was wheeled into my own little room, which was amazing because you don't have all of the other stuff going on around you and all the beep, 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 beep all night. And the nurses were checking on me for the whole night, every hour or so. And the pain that I had that night is the most intense pain I've ever had, ever. I can't describe it. It was like my head was just going to explode. I couldn't really open my eyes. I was crazy light sensitive. Photophobia. I just, eyes closed, and even then it was still too bright. And the thumping in my head was so intense. And it was like the sharpness on the exterior, like where they'd made the incision, but then internally, there's no way I can describe it to somebody who hasn't experienced it, but the most intense pain I've ever had. And I was fetal position in bed for the whole night. Basically didn't sleep. The blessed nurses, fantastic staff. I was like, I need something for this. So they went and brought some morphine, and I had some morphine, and it didn't do anything. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I'm still there writhing in bed. And I'm like, hey, this is still really bad. Can we do something else? Can we try something else now? And they said, okay, well, we'll bring you a little bit more. So they brought me a bit more morphine. And that didn't do anything. Like nothing. And so middle of the night, and bear in mind they're coming in every hour to check on me and do my various stats, check my blood pressure and my motor skills, things like that. So a broken night in and of itself. But eventually I said to them, look, this is not working. I need something else. If you've got anything, what can we do? Because this is getting unbearable, near enough. And they called in an anaesthetist who, bless him, middle of the night, he will have been on call. He came in and we had a little bit of a chat. I remember I couldn't really look at him because the brightness, and this is at night, the only light that they had was from the machine next to me. And I was trying to explain to him, I am in so much pain. What can we do? He decided that he could give me an injection of morphine, more morphine. And that just about took an edge off of it. It was the first time I'd felt some sort of pain relief from the op. I slept a little bit in between the hours of checkups. It was just such a challenging test that night. And I suppose swapping that onto its benefit, what are the opportunities, the positives, the benefits from that, is that it has now shifted my baseline for what is true pain. These odd headaches that I'm getting, in comparison to that, easy. Like absolutely nothing. It's like I haven't got a headache. And so for me now, it's opened up this resilience of knowing that I can push a lot further than I thought I could prior to the op in terms of pain side of things. But yeah, crazy experience. Oh, more windy. I have great family. The most supportive, loving, caring, beautiful family. I couldn't ask for a better family. I love them so much. They mean the world to me. And the support that they've given me post-op, it's been amazing. It's been phenomenal to have them hand on shoulder, army behind me. As you guys, this whole family side of things, I really do see you, the community that we're forming, just the support. And it's not even just for me, it's the support between you. People in the comments will be like, hey, this is happening for me, whatever that is, and they've got a challenge in their life. And the support of just complete strangers coming in and being like, you've got this, I'm praying for you, trying to offer support or guidance. It's so wholesome. So wholesome. I love it. I really, really love it. Let's have a look at some of these. Wow, so many. Hello, people. Where are you watching from? If there's anyone new on here. And share shots. Eve, love you very much. I will talk to you soon. Your body is scared and rejected it. Yes, I think so. Maybe. They did end up giving me some other painkillers. What was it? Can't remember the name of it. Oxy something or other. That was like a fluid you inject. Like they gave it to me in a syringe, put it in your mouth, and it tastes very sweet, really sweet, and like apple-ish. That was the only thing that they gave me that actually did anything for me in terms of pain relief. Jordan, hello from Germany. Love Germany. Please tell us, what was the moment you thought it's better to go check than the diet? Okay, so like the story of the point in time where I was like, okay, I need to go and work something out here, work out what's going on. Okay, so the point in time that things adjusted quite quickly for me in life was when I started to get these partial seizures. So they're not rolling around on the ground, really, really out, unconscious seizures. These are generally just a real sense of random dizziness, and then I'd get left side numbness and tingling, left side tinnitus, metallic taste in the mouth. And I'd had a couple of those randomly spaced over a couple of months, and for me they just seemed a little bit odd, but I was like, maybe I'm just really tired, maybe there's an electrolyte imbalance, something along that line. And so, talking of electrolytes, I've got some in my water bottle here. So there was a couple of those things which I thought, this is not right. And then it was one night in August 2024 where one of these partial seizures hit me very hard, and it was like a slap around the face, and there was a thump noise, suddenly incredibly dizzy, and left ear was just ringing like crazy, like really loud tinnitus. And I sat myself down on the floor, and I sat there for 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes, just being like, well, this isn't normal. And I called Annalise, my partner, when it had passed. I said, look, this has happened to me. What do you think we do? And she was like, we're going to go to A&E. We're going to get this checked up. So went to A&E, and at first they thought it might be a transient stroke or something along that line. They did a load of tests. They then put me through a CT scanner, and that was the point that the trajectory of my life, as at every point in life, changed. It adjusted. It moved into a different course. And I mean, now that I've really worked on it and researched and actively looked into the positives of this gift that has been given to me to offer the world, to offer service to the world and those in need. It is probably the best thing that's happened to me. And I really do mean that. I don't mean that in a, oh, look at me, I do mean it. I think it's given me a purpose to life that I don't think I had prior. Like, when I was growing up and I came out of school, the plan was for me to go into the forces and hopefully into the Army Air Corps or something like that. But I was failed due to medical grounds. And this is an interesting one. I'd not mentioned this before. I hadn't thought of this. So I was having migraines at school, and they were all kind of left side or right sided and left. Like, I used to go somewhat blind. I used to have I used to have trouble with my vision on my left side, and I wonder if that was a little telltale. I wonder if that was that I've had this going on for a long time, and it's only just started to get to a point where it's kicked up a fuss. I do wonder. Who knows? But yeah, from that point, trajectory of life changed drastically. I ended up going to university. I've had a couple of different businesses, worked in various different jobs and roles, but never really felt like I had a direction, because my original direction was to go into the forces. Like, that was what I always wanted to do. But now it's like something's come onto my lap and they've gone, hey, this is what you need to do. This is your purpose. This is your job. This is your goal. And it's beautiful. Beautiful. Jordan, another comment. Amazing. Thank you. Is there like a prognosis on when you're going to be cancer free? Sorry for this many questions, bro. I'm just really interested. Ask away, Jordan. Absolutely ask anything, as dark as you want. I am open book. This is what this is all about, is sharing the journey and trying to offer a different perspective on these things, and to share what I'm learning from it, ultimately. Okay, is there prognosis on when you're going to be cancer free? Prognosis on cancer free. No, not with these sort of things. That there is no way of being like, hey, yep, you're clear as such, because even when people are classified as going into remission, there is a reasonable chance that it will reoccur. So for me, there is no prognosis on when it will be clear, but it will be at some point. There's that positive mindset. That visualization of what's it going to be on the other side. I'm not falling back into the victim mentality, and that's hugely that is one of the most powerful things that we can do in life, is not hold on to that identity of victim and take agency in our life. The interesting thing is a lot of people ask the opposite. So I really like that question, Jordan. Like, that's more on the positive side of things. Awesome. A lot of people ask, hey, how long have you got? I've even had people, a stranger. So I got talking to somebody on the street. They, I find this hilarious. They asked me, having never met me properly, we've just been chatting. They asked me, so have you planned your funeral yet? And it was a serious question. And I burst out laughing. I was like, what? That's such an interesting question to ask. And my response to them after I'd stopped giggling was, have you planned yours yet? Because the crazy thing is that none of us know when we cross that great divide and return to the ocean, so to speak. And I find it fascinating that is a default for some people of, oh, this is the end. Okay, have you got all of your, have you got everything organized for when you cross that great divide? Yeah, it's amazing. So in terms of the prognosis side of things, for the opposite of when I'm cancer free, I don't know. I've not researched. I've actively asked the medical team that I've been working with not to give me any insights, any information about the average life expectancy, because that for a lot of people puts like a stake in the ground. It's like a timeline. It's like a clicking clock. It's like you've put a timer on and you're going, okay, well, this is what I've got to deal with. That in and of itself is an acceptance of defeat, is an acceptance of victimhood. So for me at least, I don't want to know, I don't need to know, because like I said earlier, I could get taken out by a bus tomorrow and all of this stuff doesn't matter. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So why take the identity that you've already lost, and the stress and the strain and the cortisol and the emotions that come across with that? For me, I don't want to know, don't need to know. And I'm doing exactly what you said, like, what's the prognosis, if that's the right word, for when I will be cancer free, which is exciting. It really is exciting. It takes a lot of, it's reassuring. I think that's the word. It's reassuring to know that I'll be out the other side at some point. Man, more comments. Hello, everyone out there. Hello from Israel. Wow, all over the place. All over the place. Beautiful people from around the world. Hi. If you don't know me, I know some people have been on here since the start, so they will have heard this a few times. I apologise. My name is George. I was diagnosed with brain cancer in August 2024, and I'm sharing the journey here on YouTube. I'm sharing how we adjust this challenge that gets placed onto people's laps, myself, other people around the globe, and other challenges, whatever it is, to try and look at it in a positive light. And learn some of the tools, the mental agility tools, mental fitness, mental resilience tools that allow us to take ownership of our health, our life, and our mindset. And that's what I'm doing. So if you have any questions, just shout, let me know. Absolutely anything. I really don't mind. I am an open book. Let's have a look at some of these comments. Pietro, where were we? If you do surgeries, etc. Okay, so sorry, I missed that second comment from you, Jordan. Prognosis on if you do surgeries. So you never know with the surgeries either. they can either go very well or they can go very poorly. And yeah, I mean, it all depends on what they decide to do and where things are. For me, the tumor is quite deep in my brain, which makes it a little bit more complicated than if it was on the outer surface. Also, with it being that certain type of tumor, an astrocytoma, you just can't get rid of it. You can't, in terms of cutting it out, resecting it, you can't get rid of it because it works its way into the structure of the brain. Whereas some tumours are like a solid lump that they can really get in there and pull that out. So who knows? Curious part, the way cancer affects sensory parts. Yes, it's very odd. It's very odd, like the tingling. Like last night I was trying to get to sleep, and it was like my left hand was not numb, but yeah, like just not as responsive. It was like it's just very slightly not normal. Yeah, I don't know how to describe that one, but who knows? Who knows what that is? Could be unrelated. I might have just been lying on my arm funny. There's something I've researched, but I still can't imagine how it is. Just found out about your channel. I really pray for the best. I'll definitely be following the journey. Much love. Jordan, thank you. It means the world. Stay along. Yeah, come along for the ride. It's an interesting one. I've got a lot more like educational videos coming out soon. They're more about the real details and the research behind certain protocols or therapies or lifestyle choices that benefit, in particular, people with cancer, but also the mindset side of things, because that's the foundation of everything that we do in life, right? The mind is how we perceive, it's how we take action, it's our choice, it's everything that we do in life. So to form that as strong as you can, to create it as resilient as you can, it has knock-on effects across your entire life outside of health. Everything, absolutely everything. So welcome. Well, you should come visit Sydney. Oh man, I would love to go to Sydney. We are talking about going to Oz at some point in the nearish future. Don't know when exactly, but we will be going over at some point, seeing as it's basically the nearest place outside of New Zealand. A bucket list. No, I don't. There are certain things I would like to do, maybe, but they're not I've got to do it. There's nothing about my drive to be like, yep, I need to go and walk across China, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't have a bucket list. I like to enjoy life in and of itself. Accept it for what it is and enjoy the smallest of things. Because the vast, 99.999% of our life is day-to-day mundane things. It's working, or it's taking the dog for a walk, or having a shower, or those mundane or perceived mundane things are so beautiful. And for me, it's not necessarily about these minuscule moments of potential highlights. It's more about how do I enjoy the vast majority of my life, the 99.999 whatever percent it is. But yeah, there are certain things that I would like to go and do. I'd like to travel a bit more. I'd like to really develop this channel and share what I can with you all. So yeah, there's no formal bucket list. I've never been asked that question. Maybe I should start thinking about it a bit more. I know this might seem a little crazy, but I believe the best chance I have when I go out is freezing my body, or at least my brain. Do you mean physically freezing your body, at least brain? Best chance I have when I go out is freezing my body. Do you mean physically, or silencing your brain, freezing your brain? If it was with bad signal. Cameron, hello again. Welcome back. How are you, friend? How is life? What's new and exciting in your world? Welcome back. Man, one thing I've noticed is the amount of people who come and rejoin the channel and the chat. It's really lovely. It's really lovely. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting loads of just random people, but the fact that there's this community forming, this little family group, it's just lovely. It's so lovely. It's so wholesome. Let's have a look. Some more comments. Man, so many comments. Thank you so much, guys. My best interpretation being like these YouTube random noise instead of some tea. Yeah, exactly. It's I actually really like that. I was being like these TVs with a broken antenna. You're just showing a bunch of random noise instead of some exactly. Yeah, that's so true. So true. I love that. We should have a t-shirt with George's Army on it. That would be hilarious. It would have to be a really unattractive photo. We've got this family WhatsApp group where it's called Ugly Faces, and all we do is randomly, maybe I should do one. Should I do one now? Randomly, and it'll go years without a single photo on it. I mean, the last ones on here were back in July 2025. The idea is that you just send a very random ugly face to. Let's go with that. What do we think, guys? We just send it. This is just a little light-hearted thing. But I was thinking on if we did do t-shirts to have something like that on there, just have a bit of fun with it. I mean, physically, because it's basically making a bet that in the future they might be able. Yes. Oh, you mean like take your brain out, freeze it, and then at some point in the future they'll be like, hey, we've got this brain, let's put it back into something like a cyborg type thing. That would be kind of interesting. I wonder if you'd have like a lapse in time. I wonder whether you'd still be conscious in your brain, because they'd have to keep it alive. And so would you just have pure consciousness outside of your physicality? That's a philosophical question right there. Philosophical question. Cameron, my day, well, had to rebuild the store because the wind... because of the wind. But still taking on a hobby as home chef. You cook. You are a cook. Nice. I made this absolutely killer, if I say so myself. Maybe I'll get rid of my ego there, but it's really delicious. Butter chicken curry type thing. Because I follow pretty much a carnivore diet. That's for metabolic approach to cancer. So to try and make my internal environment as awful for cancer as possible. But it's quite hard to have no tomato or anything like that in curries. But I thought, I'll try and make something. I came across this recipe for butter chicken. Just beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. It sounds interesting. Rebuild your store. Was it destroyed? What's that? Were the storms that bad? That's nuts if they were that bad. Crazy. Hey, I'm happy to come across your live stream. Welcome. Hi there. Welcome. Yeah, welcome. I don't know if you know me, but I've been diagnosed with brain cancer. I'm George. Ask any questions. Absolutely anything. I am sharing everything that I can with the interweb and the beautiful people out there living their lives, and hopefully I can help people give a. I hope that I can provide some value for others. Nice picture. I think it's maybe one of my best. I'm not gonna lie. I think it might be one of my best out there. Or I should up my game. I am sat on the floor. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I try and do low-level living. I think it's really good for our mobility to sit on the floor rather than very Victorian chairs. It's good for squats to stand up and all that sort of stuff. Maybe George's crew, George's fam will work around it. Do you actually think I do? Shall I set up a little t-shirt thing? That'd be kind of fun. I was wondering actually a while back. I was brainstorming some ideas of having a cancer or a mindset or a metabolic approach to cancer or something along that line, like a shop, like a store, online store that people who are on a similar journey or want to support family members or me or whatever, where they can go and get those sort of things. That would be kind of fun. I'm going to look into more, Cameron. I'm going to have a proper look into it. And then I'll let you know. Maybe next week when I'm doing another live, I'll let you know if I'm gonna do it or not. I am, and I don't know if this is of interest to any of you guys. I am going to be starting one-to-one consultations with people to teach and help people become as mentally resilient as possible for anything across the board, not specifically for health or cancer, but to enable them to have the tools to navigate life with peace and not feel like emotions are taking them for a joyride, that they have control over their emotions and their actions to become more disciplined in their life, to just be happier, more content, accepting of life. Can you guys let me know? Is that something you'd be interested in or not? Because if not, there's no point in me doing it. Oh man, that'd be fun. Just sit there trying to work it. This was also a question that made me have a big headache. Would it have the same consciousness or completely new consciousness? I don't know. Like if you had your brain... People who are new here, hi, I don't know if you'd be following the chat. Long story short, we're trying to work out if you had your brain removed and like put into cryo, frozen, and they kept it, or maybe not frozen, maybe just keep it alive with machines, would you still be conscious? And if so, to what extent? Like, would you still be able to feel your brain? Would you just be like, would you be outside of, is it an out of body experience? I mean, it really would be, wouldn't it? Literally an out of body experience. Big philosophical question right there. No, not destroyed. Okay, Cameron, good. I'm glad. A lot of people bought a bunch of stuff, so it's just restocking. Yeah, did I misread it? Sorry if I misread it. You said rebuild. Restocking, we didn't have any delivery trucks for a week, so it was pretty much all hands on deck. That sounds like a lot of work. I hope you get it sorted. I hope so. It's not exactly related to the health issue. Do you feel comfortable doing the live stream? What are the challenges? Ooh, good question. I think I'm getting more comfortable doing it. It's a little bit odd talking to just a camera, but then I'm not talking to a camera, I'm talking to you guys. One thing I'm really trying to work out is there are certain things that I'd like to do with live streaming. So a big one is, for some reason my camera won't share any higher quality than 720p. I don't know if you've looked at my channel, but I'm really trying to produce high quality content for people. So it would be great to have a better camera setup. I'm also attempting to do this thing it's called Streamlabs. This is all new for me. I've had a different setup today where I can like put overlays and things. So for example, let's say somebody subscribes whilst on here. I hope this works, but you should get this little thing pop up. You guys see that? As an example, but just like a little bit more engagement. And there should be a chat box on here, but for some reason it's not working, or I can't see it. Can you see it? Like on down here somewhere there should be a chat boxy type thing. I don't know, I'm learning, but I'm getting more comfortable. I have been struggling a little bit just with tech and scheduling and all the other back end side of things, but I think I'm getting better and I'm working out a better setup. I feel like this setup is better because last week I was by that window, so it's good light, but not easy because I had to do it on my tablet. I don't know, but we're here now. What do we think of this setup? Is it a little bit clearer for you? Because I can hop between the chat quite easily. I can actually keep up to date with what's going on, which is easier for me, I suppose. Wouldn't take long for the brain to start hallucinating. Yeah, I suppose it would. But then, is it hallucination? Because you can't see. You're just in your brain, pure consciousness, maybe. What a beautiful experience that would be. Yeah, man, craziness. We've got anyone new here. Hi, I'm George. I was diagnosed with cancer, brain cancer. It's great. I'm sharing the journey. Come along for the ride. Subscribe. I'm sharing everything. And if you have any questions, just shout. It's really lovely. We've got so many people on here. So just beautiful community. Cameron. So with your idea of one-on-one training, the focus we've been helping with mental peace. Yes. So a large part of it is to give the skills, the tools, the perspective to be able to navigate life and everything it throws at us, the good and the real shit that gets thrown on all of our laps, to give tools to be able to navigate those with peace and to take agency over our emotions, so that we're not just being bashed around by them, because that's not a particularly comfortable place to sit. And it does, for me, it feels a bit like almost a superpower type thing, where you're not being dictated by life. It's so literally enlightening. It takes so much pressure out of life to be able to accept it, truly accept it for what it is. There is no innate good or bad in life. That is all down to how we see it, right? It's all the lens that we see it. So the idea with the one-to-ones is to give the tools to help people move forward with their life, to take agency over their emotional programming, which is what we all have, right? We have experiences through life, and through that, like a computer, exactly like a computer, we start to create this way of responding to life. And that can be either really good or it can be really bad, quite self-sabotaging. So yeah, to answer your question, that's the whole idea of it, really. Sorry, 10 hour day. Go to sleep. Like, these days I can't manage more than what, like 6 hours, something like that. Pietro, I believe it would be also pretty nice if you enabled channel member feature or chat donations. Do you know, this is one of the challenges that I am finding with the channel. So I'm not sure if you know, but within YouTube there are certain, let's call them gates, that you have to get through in order to open up certain features. So the first gate for me to get to, and I'm not too far, but it's still a fair way out. I need to have it's over 2,000 followers, which I do have. Like, I'm nearly 3,000, which is bonkers. But when I think about how many people that is, crazy. So that's one of them. And then I need, in fact, let me double check this because I might have that wrong. So I need, for me to be able to have members and donations, those sort of things, I need to have 3,000 watch hours. So I'm currently on 2,295. So I've got quite a way to go, because it's taken me just over a year now to get to the 2,200 odd. But my plan is to get to that point, then I can open up things like membership, start to give you guys more value, like specific to the membership. And then, yeah, things like donations. I do have a GoFundMe. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. There's links in my all over my channel, in the comments, various other places, descriptions. But yeah, for that, I'm also trying to set up memberships external from YouTube, mainly because it enables me to be able to really provide good quality stuff for you guys. it's quite limiting on YouTube. I'd like to be able to provide more specific things, specific value, specific videos, content, documents. Like I want to put together a couple of different documents, but one is a breakdown of my protocol and why, like what I've learned from that and how it can potentially benefit cancer, the fight against cancer, things like that. Big goal is to get to 4,000 watch hours, and that's where I can start to generate it'll be tiny, but a small amount of money from ad revenue through YouTube. That will be a game changer for me. It means that I can focus pretty much 100% on the channel and helping you guys. So that is goal number one, really. That is where I want to get to. That will change the channel drastically. Like I can actually really focus on helping and developing it and providing that value. Channel, you already have surpassed the minimum, so I believe you already can enable these. Yeah, sadly I'm not yet. I've got the 3,000 subscribers, so I'm over the 500 that I need for that membership side of things, the YouTube membership and supers, I think that's what they call it. It's just the watch time. I just need one of my videos to maybe get out there and get out to the world a bit more. I suppose I am so grateful for the views I have had. I just need a few more in order to get the watch time up, and then I can start opening these things up. But it's good to know that people are interested in that. That's really good. Thank you. Go to bed in a bit. Yeah, Cameron, go to sleep. Go to sleep. It's one of, if not the most important thing in life, is to get a good night's sleep. Have you come across Matt Walker? Matt Walker, he's like he's a sleep expert. His stuff, his research that he's doing, look into, my friend. That is just crazy. He talks about how, if I remember correctly, and I might have this wildly wrong, but he talks about how the difference between 8 hours sleep and 6 hours sleep for a man, if you on average have 6 hours sleep rather than 8, your testosterone levels are that of somebody 10 years older than you, just from 2 hours difference every night. I might have that wrong, but it's something like that. And that is nuts. Like testosterone is, although it's in some places and streams it's demonized, it's so important for male health. Like one of the main foundations for our entire health. So yeah, really, really fascinating, the research behind it. Dude, that is such a nice thing you're doing. You're such a caring person. That's a big reason why people are drawn to you, bro. I want to support you. Cameron, thank you. Like I was saying earlier, like the support. I just don't know how to. It kind of makes me want. Kind of makes me tear up in a way. The love. Far out. Just couldn't. Yeah, I speechless. Like you can tell, it's crazy. The love and support. I wasn't expecting it when I started this channel. I was expecting it to be quite formal and very not necessarily human. Like to be very factual and educational. And then I realized quite quickly starting it that it's suddenly turned into this beautiful community. It's just, yeah. Pietro. How do you say your name? I'm probably absolutely crucifying it, but I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. You're nearly 50 then. I mean, are you nearly 50? I don't know how old you are. I love that. I love that. God, these electrolytes are really good. Really good. I use a brand called Salt. It's SALTT. Highly recommend, especially if you're interested in low carb, keto, that side of things. They don't use any like sugars, anything like that. It's really, really simplistic. They have lots of different flavors. They taste great. Highly recommend. They're actually linked in my descriptions as well if you're interested. Highly recommend. Pytro. Nice. Okay, that's how you say it. Thank you. I'm getting. You don't say it like pie. Oh, okay. No. We're all getting it wrong. Okay, not pie. Pytro. Pie. It's too early for me, guys. It's too early for me. I say that. It's 11:10 in the morning. You're 36. All right. So I'm 32, 33 this year, which is terrifying. Halfway to 66. I've been really giving my mind space to visualize the future that I want it to be. Mainly because that starts to rewire of hope and the actions that we take, right? We're creating that reality by assuming that that's what's going to be. I've been actively seeing myself in detail, like real detail, with no hair, of me being like an 80-year-old, specifically 85. I don't know why 85, but yeah, with no hair and my little walking stick and sitting in front of the fire with a paper and my slippers on. Yeah, I'm getting old. 32, my God. Also, hello, Jenny. Welcome. Also, dude, I really wish to give you all the support you need. You deserve all of it. It sucks to be dealing with this. Man, I appreciate that. I really do. It's getting to a really exciting point with the channel and my health, where I feel like I'm on the cusp of it really becoming something that helps as many people as possible. Like I really want to share what's happening so that someone out there, even if it's just one person, actually gains some sort of value, or they see it in a more positive light, or they can give themselves or family members some advice, or like the world can be a really dark place, and it really doesn't have to be. And for me, it's like I'm throwing a little pebble into a lake, and all I want to know is that those ripples will go as far as they can, and I want to try and help, even in the smallest way, anyone and everyone out there. That's the purpose. That is my purpose. Now, man, I'm getting hiccups. That's a bit odd. But yeah, I mean, even just being here is amazing. Like, you guys watching and commenting is huge. Like, absolutely huge. For the channel, for me, it's massive. I wasn't expecting any of this, especially with the lives. I thought I was going to be talking to myself for an hour. So it's nice to have you here. And if you really want to help the channel, share it long and wide, and try and get it to people who you think would benefit from the psychology side of things in particular, the positivity and the health side of things. Yeah. I mean, I have the odd donation, which that also blows my mind, that people will send their hard-earned money to support me. Yeah, just I just don't. I don't. Yeah. Craziness. Hi, are you Alan Simpson? Hello, Alan. Yes, I am from the UK originally. Born and bred. I was born in Kent, near Ashford. And then I've moved around all over the show in the UK. So I lived in Cornwall, I've lived in Shropshire, I've lived in Cumbria, up in Scotland in the Orkney Islands, north of Scotland, tiny little islands live there. And now I live in Rotorua in New Zealand, sunny New Zealand. And I love it here. Absolutely love it here. Positivity transcends the disease. Thank you. I love that. Transcends the disease. Oh, that language. That's powerful. I love that. I love that. Thank you. Cameron, it's not that bad, George. 33 is fine. Don't be terrified. I'm not terrified. In a way, I'm kind of excited, and I'm so grateful that I have got to this point. Like, you think about how many people sadly don't, but also the chances of me even existing are just infinitely minuscule. You know, the whole process from ancestry, the whole ancestry of every single one of us, going all the way back to the start, whatever that was, and however that happened. Every single event, like every single tiny little event, has led to me having this conscious awareness, and the same as you watching. To, you know, it could be that one of my ancestors 100,000 years ago stumped their toe on a tree or something, and then it got infected and they died, and boom, I wouldn't be here. Yeah. It's just such a valuable experience. The good and the bad, the testing and the joyful. Amazing. My folks are in their 60s and they don't act like it at all. To be fair, my parents are the same. Exactly the same. Sometimes I'm like, Dad, you should probably just chill out a bit. And he's like, oh no, I'm going to go for a 4-hour hike. Feel deserve love, bro. I want to visit the UK so badly. Found out you're 3% British. I mean, you're if you've got 3%, you're basically English. Yeah. You've got to go to the UK. Is there anywhere in particular that you're planning to go? Go. It's a beautiful country. It's an interesting country. I think the thing that I really miss not being there, one is family and friends, but I really miss the depth of history. Like, New Zealand is a really new country. It's about 1,000 years that humanity's been on this island that we know of. Whereas in the UK, like, I grew up in a house that was 300, 400 years old, something like that. Yeah, so it's one thing I miss. And I'm in Newcastle. Husband is from Cumbria. Cumbria is gorgeous. So I went to university in Ambleside and loved living there. Such a beautiful part of the world. Let's keep that quote going. I really love that quote. Positivity transcends disease. I'm going to write that down. I might actually make a little video about that. It's so beautifully written. Where's my ideas page? There it is. Positivity transcend. That's another like t-shirt idea. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Not quite. I love the voice he made when reading Cameron's message. I've been told that I have a very posh English accent. Oh man, it's gone really dark, hey? Has it gone really dark? Is that just me? Oh, there we go. Exposure's coming back. What was it saying? Yeah, my voice. I've been told I have a very posh English accent, and that's mainly because I was brought up in the southeast, in Kent. And that... apparently I sound like another YouTuber. I had this... When I was working at an outdoor education centre, I had this kid run up to me and he was like, did you know that your voice is just like this YouTuber, blah, 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 blah. And I wish that I'd gone and searched for them, because I'd like to have a voice twin. That would be kind of fun. I have quite a few friends near London area, actually. I've been once for a 6-hour layover. Got to do afternoon tea. Oh, was that with the Queen? Afternoon tea with the Queen? It was delightful. It's very English. That's the 3% English coming out. 3% British. What did he study? He's from Ulverston. I know Ulverston reasonably well. I did a couple of what are they called? Basically, part of my course had certain workshops and things down there. So yeah, we're down there quite often. I didn't really know what I wanted to study when I was first looking into university. So I was like, what do I enjoy? Or what do I really enjoy? And I used to spend most of my weekends at school down in our local woods, in our forest. And I was really into, and I still am, into bushcraft, survival, living off the land, foraging, hunting, all that sort of stuff, like outdoor stuff. I used to really enjoy like getting into climbing, just outdoor stuff. So I found, in fact my sister found a course, University of Cumbria, which was called Outdoor Studies. They've renamed it now because it doesn't really encompass what it is, but the idea of it was that it was twofold. One part was the practical skills to be an outdoor instructor, so like group management. We used to do everything from canoeing, kayaking, caving, bushcraft, mountaineering, ice climbing, but basically you name an outdoor activity, we did it, and we were being taught how to facilitate those sessions safely and productively in an educational format. And then the other part, which is the bit that I think spurred my interest into psychology, was the theoretical and the academia based around working in the outdoor industry. So it was a huge amount of psychology, like I said, physiology, like geography, you name the ologies, we kind of touched on all of them. The idea there is that you mix the practical skills with the real understanding of the academia behind it all, so that you can merge the two together. And I loved my course. Like, I absolutely loved it. If I could go back and do that, I would for sure go and do it. It completely changed how I perceive the world and see life. Yeah, incredible experience. Love it. My mum taught me the same before she passed away. I'm sorry to hear she's passed. They never leave us though. Never leave us, and we never leave them. Like, that's the reality. We all return to the ocean. Consciousness. It's beautiful. We know more about space than the oceans. We do. Isn't it weird? Like, what's crazy is that how is space more accessible than the ocean? You know? I don't get it. I mean, I'm not I'm not a physicist, so I don't really know. No, not with the Queen. You have a welcoming posh accent. A welcoming posh. I could go a little bit posher. Maybe. I don't know how to describe it. It's beautiful, sure. My slight Texas accent ain't the best. One thing I really love about the US is it's like England, and Scotland, how much the accents change. Like, I always remember traveling around the UK, you drive an hour and suddenly you can't understand someone. Like, it's English, but you can't understand it because of the musical nature of their accents. I love it. Husband studied at University of Cumbria as a radiographer. No way. Will that have been in Lancaster? I assume so. Or up in Carlisle? Somewhere like that. Don't know. Radiographer. My old next door neighbour was a radiographer. Lovely man. So yes, my friends, We are doing the thing. What I will probably do is I will probably jump off in the next 5 minutes or so. I've got a few odd jobs to get on with for today. But if you have any last questions, queries, mumbles, grumbles, just shout. I'm all open. I'm all open and happy to discuss whatever you want. And if you are new and you don't know who I am, I know we've got some regulars in here. Isn't that amazing? I can call you regulars. Never expected that. Yeah, if you are new, my name is George. I was diagnosed with brain cancer back in August 2024. And I have this little YouTube channel here to share my journey, share what I'm learning, try and provide some insights, some value for people watching in order to better their life and to look at these things in a positive light as a gift rather than a negative. Like we're always winning, right? We're whatever happens in life, like whatever happens, we are always winning, because up until this point, every single thing that has landed in our lap, that metaphorical shit that lands in our lap, we have survived. We have overcome. We have learnt from. We've moved forward from. So whatever is going to come and land on our lap, or has landed on our lap, is a gift. Like, we're always winning. Always. There's no such thing as losing in life. That's the reality of it. We have that choice to either learn from it or let it take over. Yeah. It's just down to perspective. In Carlisle, I did my my graduation in Carlisle. Yeah. I actually ended up doing my graduation barefoot. I did my dissertation on, this is where the psychology side of things starts coming in. I did my dissertation on the perceived disconnection from nature, from being shod, from wearing shoes. So by putting shoes on that physically separate us from the landscape, from the environment, from that constant information from our feet coming into our brain, creates this perceived disconnection from us and the land, and has a knock-on impact where we start to see ourselves as like higher than the land. We are in control of the land. We are not of it. We are separated from it. And so I did a full year at university in the Lake District, through summer and winter, completely barefoot, in the snow, in the ice, and fell in love with it. Like, it's such a grounding, literally grounding thing that you can do to feel connected with the world on a physical level. And according to my dissertation and the research that I did, on a psychological level as well, we have far more what's the word? We have a degree of connection with the earth that you don't get when you are shod. Have a think about it. It's really interesting, or at least I find it interesting. So yeah, I did my graduation barefoot, which was kind of funny because you're there in your gown and your mitre and robes and stuff, and then you just stood there shaking hands with the big boss of the university barefoot. It was fun. That is who I am. So live who we are. So I will let people know about your channel. I'm going to try to let more people know. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, share it far and wide. I'm trying to provide some positivity to the world. And so I'd really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Cameron. The only thing I want to say is I'm going to... And I never met you in person. I love you to bits, bro. Thanks for being your fam. Cameron, your comments are just... They make my heart swell. Yes. My God. Go to bed, get some decent sleep. You deserve it. Sleep like a princess. And yeah, brother, it's amazing, isn't it, that you can have connections with people. Oh, God, I never met you. Maybe I will in the future. Who knows? But it's amazing that we can create these connections through a camera. Like, what? The world that we live in, technology. 100 years ago, people couldn't really get letters anywhere, let alone chat to someone in real time. Bonkers. Bonkers. Alrighty, people. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people. I'm going to call that a day there. Thank you very, very much for watching and asking and engaging, just being here, being you. I will be doing this again next Friday. I'm going to try and do it every Friday. I really enjoy it. You guys seem to enjoy it. And if you do have any other questions or ideas, especially in terms of content, like if there's certain subjects that you'd like me to touch on, please just reach out, whether that's just a single comment on a video somewhere. I read every single comment. I reply to every single one, so it's really lovely. But I would appreciate any feedback that you may have. And I'll, if it's the start of your day, I hope you have a really good day. If it's the end of your day, I hope you have a really good sleep, and then the next day. And I will catch you all next week in the next one on this adventure of life. Alrighty guys, love you lots. I'll talk to you soon.